Okay, so I think we're probably live now.
Yeah, it says the meeting is being live streamed. So I'm going to hit the got it button and we're ready to go.
Yay, we
We're
are
here.
online.
Yeah. So today
Wait.
is Monday, the what? The 11th of October?
Hang on. Yep. Today is Monday, the 11th.
Of October. And we're flip-flopping today because usually, Michelle, you're the one who does the interview. And somebody needed to interview you. So I'm the de facto go-to person. I'm the default person.
You're the more gentle person that I could come up with. Everybody else would be trying to get me back for what I do to them and their
Or they're all working, or they're all working, they're all busy. I just happen to be fortunate enough to be retired. And I'm a little froggy because I haven't talked much this morning yet. So let me put a little water on that.
What about some coffee? Did you get coffee?
A little. I had some coffee earlier. So before we start, I have a whole bunch of questions for you about these wonderful activities that are going to be coming up for this month, because this is a very special month for you. But for people who don't know you, I'd like to fill everybody in about who you are and what you do and how long you've been here and how long you've been doing your work. So you're a psychic medium, you're a metaphysician, you're a teacher, you're a massage therapist, you're an energy worker, you're a writer, you're an idea machine, you're super creative. Tell us more about you. When did you start realizing your gifts? Were you little, young, super young?
I was super young. I used to look and see people, like I remember being in the train station because trains are a big deal, and we were there to get my grandmother, my great grandmother in, and we're downtown Gallup.
Oh
right?
yeah,
Train station in those days, and there were people traveled by train. I mean, that place was
all the time.
And I would look and I would see things, because you're looking at a bunch of kneecaps, basically,
Right.
and then you would see other things, other energy around them. And I'm not talking just auras, but there would be energy floating in and around, because Gallup was pretty wild in its time.
Gallup was wild, and it always felt, to me when I lived there as a kid, always felt like it was full of things you couldn't see. It always felt sort of like it was haunted. There was like all this stuff that you could bump into that's like, but you couldn't see it, but it was there. It was like these layers of things.
It was. And it was, did you know they had 39 bars in a town of 12,000 people?
I did know that.
And the things that can come from a bar.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
Sorry. I just remembered some things. But anyway, so since I was a kid, but nobody told me I couldn't see them. So I was the youngest of four. So by that time, I just kind of slid under the wire and was doing my own thing. And nobody told me anything until I got older. And then they thought, uh-oh, schizophrenia. And they sent me to a shrink. And
because you're hearing voices.
And seeing them.
It's,
I was seeing things, and I remember my grandfather coming to me and telling me that he was gonna go and I would be living with my grandmother, which happened in a dream, or was it reality?
Yeah, who knows?
Well, I always thought that was my thing, is I always thought that this is not where I really lived, and this was who I was, and this is what makes me kind of struggle, because I always knew that there was something more, and that I lived more, and that there was better elsewhere. But because you're in the 3D body, you can't conceptualize. I didn't ever tie into heaven and angels, and I knew angels were the people that had passed over that actually came back and talked to you. I knew that the halos were the glow of the head chakras with the pineal, the higher enlightened beings, and that's what made the halo. I wasn't real clear why people thought they had wings, because they were just, I just saw things differently.
Mm-hmm.
fit in, which is unusual. You know, you come from a town like Gallup, and you're the odd duck out.
Oh, yeah.
Family is also very fun and dysfunctional, so that made it even more fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so you had this for your whole life. You were aware of it and you were in and out of it, mostly in it. When was it that you decided to make it your,
Thing.
it's always been your life's work, but you also have made it into a business that you run a center so that other people can come in and grow and learn and evolve?
Well, you know, I will be real honest. It was not my intention.
Ah, the spirit told you to do it.
Yeah. Well, years ago, when I was probably 30, well, maybe young, about 30, 31, and I was working for the nonprofit. And when I was working for this nonprofit, this woman asked me, "Why don't you come to my church?" I've told this before. So I did, and it was a metaphysical church, and I knew for the first time in my life, everything made sense to me. So the teaching, the classes, the information that came out of there was not it. They called it basic, and I thought everybody knew this because it basic to me means ground level. It's like basic math, 1+1, multiplication tables, whatever it was to me. I thought everybody understood what because it rang true to me.
Mhm.
So I took as many classes as I did. I studied and trained. And when the church closed, I thought, well, that's it. You know, hadn't planned on moving. I wasn't gonna go anywhere else for my work. I wasn't going to, I mean, to me, that was my destiny. So when I retired from massage, holistic kinesiology, I was doing all the alternative healthcare stuff. I went to go to Toronto and lived 6 months up there and came back for a few months, went back for 6 months. And I was standing in the closet, and that's when they were like, "You need to go back. Take what's important. You won't be back for a while." And I thought, and little did I know, I was back one time in since then. So that was 2015, about November of 2015. And I really thought I was coming back for grief recovery. I had trained as a grief recovery specialist. I had gone through multiple deaths with friends and family. By then, I think I was up to 10. Now I'm at
God almighty.
counting
Wow.
since 2008, including both parents of my son and the dogs.
Yeah.
You
With
know?
your family too. The
Yeah.
dogs are family too. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so I really didn't think this was what the deal was. And I went to most people would remember him, Carl over at Blue Eagle. He also trained in that church.
Wasn't he the original owner?
No.
Oh.
Carl was in the ministry.
Okay.
In fact, he did a lot of the artwork. If I could be mistaken, but I believe the reincarnation of Sistine Chapel, Michelangelo is who he was supposed the reincarnation of. But he did all the artwork. It was beautiful inside that church, all the handwork, and oh my God, just gorgeous. And he had left the church before I ever got in it, but I went to go get a reading from him, and I said, "Am I nuts?" He said, "No, you're not." He said, Edwin Yonkers, the original founder of the church, had come in. He says he's never come in for anybody from UCHS. Never came in for one person. He's here now. And he said, if anybody can do it, you can. And I'm like, what am I doing? he said, you're reinventing the church, but without the formalities of church services. You're going to be offering training and you're going to be teaching these levels of metaphysics so that people can grow. And I said, well, I struggled with it because who am I? I'm just a retired holistic or healthcare provider, and he said, no. So I had started writing the classes already prior to talking to him, and I started working on it. And this is what's happened. I've written classes for what I was taught was basics, but so I call it foundations and principles.
And these are metaphysical classes.
These are the metaphysical classes.
And these people can take these from you, right? Right now, people can get to them. They can access them.
Right. And I'm I kind of took one section down of the Master of Metaphysics classes. I have to go in and I accidentally deleted where you could sign up.
So no.
Teachable. Yeah, nobody ever said I was brilliant behind a computer and technology.
I think you did quite well.
I'm like, I was trying to change the price to offer it as a special, and that didn't go over real well.
Mm-hmm.
To call Teachable and try to get that repaired. But anyway, yeah, they can, as soon as I get that taken care of this week, they will be able to go online and take the classes. They are recorded. And what I've done is I gave the classes as I was taught, and I added my own 2 cents in afterward, which is like a little 10-minute how to put it to use for yourself. The thing that was so hard is that people don't always get and understand those classes because we were taught biblically.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really hard because people want to stay in that, and we're not there anymore.
Yeah,
we're supposed to be moving forward and understanding that we are the creator of our own world.
sure.
You need to understand the truth of who you are, which is this light being, the source that traveled through the cosmos, and we experienced various things. This is why people go, well, I know I was a stardust, or an ET of whatever line. I've had these lives, and I know I've had lives and connections, and it's absolutely true. However, understanding that we chose to be here and experience the 3-dimensional kind of got stuck, and how we got stuck in reincarnating. What was the agreement that got us stuck, and how did we do this to ourselves, and why are we going through this process of trying to reopen to who we are? Because we really are amazing beings of light and love, and understanding that and trying to reopen to that. There's a lot of conflict because you're asking people to step beyond the borders of religion, to step beyond people go, oh, well, I don't believe all of this. And it's like, okay. Ironically, as soon as they read somebody else who says something similar, then they now go, oh, well, I believe them. And it's kind of funny because they just look at me as Michelle, and they don't understand that I actually know things.
So if
they only see me wearing the hat of Resonant
Essentials. So if they want to sign up for that, they can go to the resonantessentials.com website, and all the information is there.
It's there. There's 2 other classes. There's a medium class that it's a beginner and medium. It's $25. They can take that. And they can also take the Code of Explosion. I haven't changed anything on that. It's the Master of Metaphysics. I got to get the pay button back in.
Right. And all of these are on the
Resonant Essentials website under.
But they can sign up on Resonant Essentials. But
they go to Resonant Essentials online, and those classes link.
So they would they go to the practitioners tab? No, they're right
there.
Online
classes.
Okay.
Online classes.
Okay. Good. So So that if people are interested in that. So then how did you end up? I know this is your current location for Resonant Essentials Wellness Center is in the Scottsdale Village there on the corner of Candelaria and Eubank. But didn't you have you've had two locations?
Yes, I started off at off of Manal.
Oh, okay.
Manal. I walked in there and I just chills rushed through me, and I was like, okay, this is it. So I was really hesitant because there was a lot of work that had to be done to that space to make it habitable. They didn't even have light fixtures.
Oh my God. That was on Manal?
Mm-hmm. The person who had left it prior took all the light fixtures.
Wow.
They never replaced them. And they said, well, you have to buy them. And I said, so if you told her she had to buy them, that's why she took them. You understand that I'm not buying your electrical fixtures. You should provide that as a standard lease. You know, people have to have lights. And it worked well. It was kind of rough at first because the parking was kind of off grid, and we finally started getting some movement there, and it was time to expand. So, you know, after being there 3 years, from 2016 to 2019, we made the move in 2019. In fact, we just had our 2-year anniversary.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you're at right across from the Albertsons and that whole center, Eastdale. You're across from Eastdale Plaza.
Right.
Yeah, right behind the McDonald's.
Across from Silver Lanes on Eubank.
Right. Yeah. So it's pretty easy to find.
It is. And it's nice. It's quiet. It's all snuggled in into it.
There's plenty of parking.
There is. And
even shade parking for the summertime.
Only if you can get it before everybody else does. We have our nice little shade tree there, Lorelei.
Yeah, she's awesome. So you offer all kinds of courses and activities there. They're ongoing every month. You also have spaces for people to rent, right? People can come in and rent space.
They can come in, rent. They can work from there. They can rent for a couple of hours up to a full day. You know, we have various ways of renting. They can rent a room to work from.
And if they want to present, if they want to do a presentation, they can also come in and you'll have tables and everything set up for them so they can also rent space for presentations.
Oh yeah, just like Susan did with her editing workshop.
Oh, right.
Was, you know, we had the projector, we have the screen that goes up. We have lots of ways of making things work.
Yeah. Well, I think that, and you know, so many people have found out that they don't have to have, because of COVID, people started working from home. And I think I've talked to many people who had businesses and said, it saved me so much money in overhead because I realized I could trust my employees to work at home. And a lot of people let go of their spaces that they were renting for office space for their workers. And so your place is the perfect place if they want to have a gathering, they want to have a group conference, people could rent it for that. The main room.
Well, and you know, there's times that you don't want your clients. Sometimes I think we're at a point now that people are like, you know, I crave physical connection to people. I crave that social interaction. We're not creatures of computers. This is conducive. You can't, you know, you don't connect to people. You can't, you just look and anything we've gotten so bad at personal communication that anything that you say is misconstrued because it's coming across, they can't feel what you mean. Mm-hmm. Coming across through a text, it's coming across through a phone call. It's so that one step behind through Zoom. You know, I could be sitting here happy and got my happy smiley face on, and below here I could be telling my boss, writing, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. And that lends itself to such a horrible existence.
Yeah.
Because it's not that they really hate their boss or anything,
Mhm.
but they're missing the contact to let them know that we're okay. You know,
Yeah.
but it's horrible, absolutely horrible. I've seen this time and again.
Yeah.
Walking in someplace and somebody going, because they don't know how to communicate anymore.
Right.
You
Right.
know, you feel uncomfortable in your own skin. Going in someplace, you know, you've been able to wear sweatpants, and now you have to squeeze your body into something else malleable and put your makeup on and do your hair. And
But it's nice that if people need a place to go because they've let go of their previous location, they can
right,
get space for like a monthly meeting at Resonant.
absolutely. But they can meet clients there too. You
Sure,
know,
they can meet clients there that they
small
needed an
rooms
office
that
space. Sure,
they can
they have
individual
rooms.
rooms.
Yeah,
You
very
know,
nice.
so
So
they
here's
can actually have a whole day of, touching base with their clients.
yeah, yeah. Speaking of that, there's other things going on. October's a big month for you personally because you celebrate the Celtic concept of October, where it's the end of harvest. It's a harvest festival, and then it's stepping into the shift from the light to the dark, and it's the end of this month is a Celtic New Year. So I know you do a review, and it's a really interesting thing, and you have some workshops planned around this coming up, right?
Right, but this is something we all do. This
Yeah.
isn't how I celebrate it. This isn't just me. We all go back to spirit for our review.
Mhm.
All take part in this. If you're dealing with the subconscious, meaning the reality of what Earth offers, and you have to pay your bills, and you have to do this, and you have to do that.
Mhm.
Halloween is our spiritual review. We go back and we look at what we accomplished through the past year. We check in with our Akashic record.
Some people do, not everybody. You
Yes,
do.
no, honey, everybody does this. I'm telling you, everybody does this. Okay.
Are
This
they consciously
is one
aware
of
that
those
they're doing
things
this?
that I teach
Mhm.
because we have, and if you let me finish, I'll tell you.
Mhm.
So back there is because we're dealing with the subconscious here.
Okay.
A way to get our conscious mind back to creating and to gather up so that we program to step higher into enlightenment. This is an option, not even an option. This is a opportunity that was given to us so that we could actually start waking up. So everybody does this. It doesn't matter. You don't choose to go through it. You just don't know you're going through it. That's why this review is very important. And that's why everything about it is a lot of, it works.
Mhm.
One of the gentlemen that I worked with, he was a young kid. We talked, he had a lot of stuff he wanted to accomplish. I said, make your list. I worked with him. I showed him the rules to doing this. Not the rules, but the ritual to do this with, to bring it to the subconscious mind from the conscious, so that you understand what you're doing at the Akashic, what you can be looking for, what options you can do.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you just go to sleep and you don't realize that you're actually, it's a very powerful, very powerful. So this isn't a choice. This is just something that we all do. It's called All Saints Night. All Souls Night is when spirit goes for their review to see where they're at, see what we have to do to keep growing spiritually. And we review up to 5 lifetimes.
Wow. 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 So if people want to participate in this, I know you have some couple of days set aside to allow people to come in and participate in this review.
No.
No?
Yeah. It's a way to learn how to do your own review, to bring
Okay.
review. This is a class. So this isn't you participate, you learn how to do your review on Halloween night.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Does that make
So,
more sense?
and when does that happen?
That happens on the 23rd and 24th. The 24th, both of them are from 10 to 3.
Mhm.
For 2 days, you get an hour lunch.
An hour break, right?
Yeah, an hour lunch. Otherwise, there'll be snacks there. We'll be working at what each individual wants to accomplish. So let's say, for example, you wanted to bring forth, you wanted to have a new boat, because you're a fisherman and you need a new boat. Okay. Well, in the 3D world, we look at having the new boat. Well, you have to have the down payment, the money, the payments. Is it worth it? Is it a good business investment, or is it your time to retire from being a fisherman? When you're doing the review, you quit buying into the you go for the end result. You look at saying, okay, this is what I'd like to have happen. Like I was saying with this one young man that I worked with, he is now in Sweden with a new academic career, has met every one of his goals that he wrote down 10, and he met every one of them in a year. And it's because we get out of the way of the mindset that we can't do it and it's only for certain people, or you have to know how to do the celebration. It's, you can do this. But it's putting thought and effort into it, and then following up with it afterwards. So that's what we learn to do in the workshop, is that you learn what you really want to accomplish, what those goals are that are really going to be life altering for spiritual progression, and how to implement it, how to do the ritual on Halloween night, and then what to do as you follow up over the next couple of months.
Awesome. So there'll be a course off, or class or workshop session, whatever you want to call it, will be offered on the 23rd. That's a Saturday, and then on the 24th is Sunday. And did you say what the hours are? Is it from 9
Yes, I said 10 to 3.
10 to 3. Okay.
10 to 3.
With an hour for lunch on your own and snacks provided. What else?
Yeah, they can bring lunch if they want to leave it there.
And do people need to bring anything with them, to any supplies or any kinds of things that they need to have to?
A pen would be nice.
Pen, paper.
Well, yeah, they're for notes and to make things adjustable. So, little notebook, however you want to make that look.
So how do they sign up for this?
They just register with me. They just, I sent out if they happen to be on the newsletter, they got the newsletter, they can click and register through the link, or they can call me and they can get registered, or email. It's Michelle@resonantessentials.com or 505-453-7646.
Okay. So either way, either one of those ways, or they could stop into the center to see you. Yeah. Okay. Very good. That's wonderful. You're doing it early, because that gives everybody a chance to prep in advance.
Well, you want to make sure that you have everything in your mind set to go, because trying to write a list of the things that will work for you, and wording, I'll give you an example. When I first did this, I asked for more money. I wanted to make more money because I was, this is what the church says, you do this, and they showed me what to do. They didn't exactly tell me how to write it out. Okay. So I wrote, I'm a single mom. I want more money. I want to make more money than I did last year. I did 5 cents more. Income tax return was 5 cents more that year than it was the year before.
So you need to be.
That was a valuable lesson to me, right? Because I was looking at more money, and I got more money. I'm sure I probably said I should have saved that, but I kind of would like to see, did I spend more money to get that more money? What was the difference? I think I was just so mad at myself because it's like a wasted effort. You realize it's April now, I have to wait till October to go through my review again. But I will tell you, it's very powerful. And I'll give you another example. I had been really sick, and I didn't know what was going on with me. I had blisters all down my arms. I was itching. My legs were itching. I was going absolutely nuts. I couldn't hardly get out of bed. I was swelling so bad. I was like, I'm done. All I wanted to do was just crawl up in a hole, but I still had work. I still had kids to support. I still had to do this. I still had to do that. And I remember my review that year. To this day, I was 42. And I remember that review. The ambulance came for me that night and said, we're ready when you are. Just, come on and get in. We're ready when you are. And I said, I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm not ready. I changed my mind. I'm not sick anymore. And from that moment and I started recovering. So these are really important things that we would normally, if we didn't know that we do this is the kind of reason that people go, well, only you do it. It's not just me. We all do it. It's decision-making time. And it's powerful. And you can take advantage of it, and you can grow exponentially through the levels of, if you want to let go of frustration and pain and suffering in your life, you want to let go of stress, you just have to work through that to see where it is you want to go. But it's that powerful. And I stayed. 20 years later, I'm still here. I'm doing another review. I've taught my children to do it. I've taught my grandchildren to do it. I teach people to do it because, otherwise, if I didn't know that existed, that would have just been a weird dream.
Yeah.
But waking up, having had that dream, I knew that I had chosen to stay. And so I had to shift my attitude in my life and everything else around it. So it's more powerful than people even understand. Sometimes it's a matter of trying to find out, are we wanting to go out of body and meet our higher physical self and let our metaphysical self be bigger and greater than who we are? Or and it doesn't matter. There's no wrong choice is what I'm saying. So there's no wrong choice. If you want to become the most incredible artist, and you want to improve on your artistic skills, absolutely. All of these doors are open, and it's all potential. And it's just about making that a part of the conscious action, part of the subconscious reality of your life here. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm. We are just a little bit over. It's 9:34. I'm just looking at the clock on my computer, the time on my computer. What would you like to add before we close?
Well, I want everybody to know that I've teamed up with Brother Francis and Nikki Bruton Phillips, and we're going to be doing a family. I'll be sending it out through the newsletter, and I'll be posting it in the group. We're going to be starting a program up for families with kids and helping them keep their special gifts together. We're going to be doing an interview, or kind of like a roundtable discussion on Wednesday morning. And that will be what it's really about.
So could you clarify a little bit what you mean when you're talking about kids? Are you talking about kids
little
gifts,
tweens, teens?
And are you talking about kids with intuitive gifts? What are you talking about?
All kids, because all kids come with intuition.
Right. Okay.
It's just whether or not we get shut down for it when we talk about it. You know, it's how we deal with it when these things come in, and having a support system from, you know, with parents that are dealing with kids like this, so that they don't go, my kid's crazy, let's take her to the shrink, you know. It's finding that way that your child works specifically so that that child can bloom in their higher levels of awareness.
Right.
Of having to be 30 years old, you know, I was 14 when I first started studying metaphysics. I was 30 when I started finding people who actually, with information that actually made sense, that truth. And I have read some of the greatest metaphysical people out there, authors. But what happens if you're you know, you were like, I was raised as a Baptist and then later as a Catholic. It didn't bode well for that existence.
No.
It didn't stop who I was, but it did cause a lot of tension in the family, having the odd child out.
So this thing you're going to be doing with Nikki and Brother Francis is going to be an opportunity to help parents understand more about what their kids are experiencing and helping facilitate and foster.
Plus, it's support for the parent.
Sure.
So
absolutely.
We'll be working with the parents, helping them clarify their meditations and their gifts, because parents come with gifts too.
Sure, of course.
So if everybody's working cohesively with their gifts, they remove a lot of roadblocks.
Yeah, yeah. And when does that start?
We have the first Saturday. We're going to do the first Saturday of the month, and it'll be from 9 until noon. So what that'll be is, it's kind of 8 weeks. It'll skip the holiday, but we're trying to get that off the ground this month. We're kind of doing a kickoff special. So we're excited to get that going.
So that'll start in November then, after the kickoff this month. Wow. Boy, there's lots going on. That's great. That's
we're
great.
moving. And then of course, you know, we've got the beauty of you and Donna working, and Johanna's working mostly through Zoom, but you and Donna coming into the center offering in-person readings. You know, it's just a really blessed opportunity that we have. Tina's coming in and doing her cryoscan and her healing, and you know, people of course can reach me for a reading or healing, and you for a reading or healing, and you know, we've got peeps that are there to be of service on a daily basis.
Yeah, so if people want to come into the center, we're there Tuesdays through Saturdays from noon to 4.
Right now it's noon to 4.
Yeah. Okie dokie.
We may have to start opening up sooner, but we're working. Logistically speaking, not a lot of people are out looking for readings at 10 a.m.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's, you know, we are open for yoga. We have yoga on Tuesdays and Thursdays from noon to 1, and we do have things. It's just, you know, trying to get back into being humans again with other human beings. And
sure. Feeling our way. So
well, I think it's kind of hard, don't you?
I think it's tricky, but I think that, you know, there's a way to maneuver it.
Well, you know, the thing is it's so, I think it's hard because I think people are like almost exhausted after they go to the grocery store on a Saturday morning. They're not used to fighting traffic again, going into the grocery store again on mass scales. And so by the time they do that, they're like, oh, I don't want to go sit in the room. But I think they're eager for it too.
Yeah, I think well, you know, people who are introverts are happy to stay to themselves, but the extroverts, I think it's been harder on them.
It has. I think yesterday's psychic fair was fantastic.
Oh yeah, we were busy yesterday. was nice. And we had a rummage sale. It was a productive day.
Really was.
Well, sweetie, we're
Out
at
of
10. Go
Well,
ahead.
go ahead. Let's get off and we will
Yeah, I
call.
was just gonna say we're at 9:40. So we probably are, do they cut us off or do we just go off whenever we
I
want
mean,
to?
we could go off when we could be here all day long.
Oh, okay.
The funny thing about Zoom is this. Zoom goes in and they give you, if there's two people, you can put in for an hour and you get you could have the entire day, but add one more person, that hour's the cutoff.
Wow. Okay. All right.
But
So
that's okay. I need to get going. You need to get going.
I do. Okay, honey, it was really wonderful chatting with you. Thank you I've
Thank
never done
you.
an interview before. This was the first for me. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for sharing and caring.
You betcha. And I will see you when I see you.
Absolutely.
All righty. You have
Bye.
a fab day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.